Welcome to our how-to video on installing the common vent damper for the CI2. Before we get started, we should either have the common venting manual on hand that is supplied with the vent damper, or we should go on the Viessmann.ca website and download the manual. Please follow all venting instructions and guidelines contained in the Viessmann Common Venting Manual for CI2. Next, a couple of quick common venting rules for the CI2. We can common vent a maximum of 4 boilers. This is not to be confused with our maximum number of boilers in a cascade, which would be 16. So if we do have a cascade of 16 boilers, we would have 4 banks of 4 common vented boilers. We must also be aware that all boilers in a common vent system must be the same capacity. We cannot mix different size boilers in the same common venting system. Now that we have some of the basics out of the way, let's have a look in the box and see what we get with the common vent damper. We have 3 main components in the box. On the top left, of course, our vent damper. On the top right, we have our flue vent collar coupling with a few zip ties for our wiring. And on the bottom, we also have our common vent manual supplied with the part. Pages 16 to 20 are specific to the installation of the vent damper. However, we will also be using the flue vent collar supplied with the CI2 boiler on the bottom in the middle, and of course our trusty Viessmann toolkit on the bottom left there. So we've got the CI2 turned around now so we can have a look at the back end where we'll be working. As I'm sure you've noticed, we are in the showroom in the Waterloo, Ontario office for this demonstration, and this boiler has not been installed. So with that being said, it is always important to follow all the recommended service clearances. For the 399 model we are looking at today, that would be 31.5 inches at the back, 39.5 inches at the front, and 20 inches on the top. We do have 0 clearance to combustibles on the sides, so in a multi-boiler installation, we can butt these boilers right up next to each other as long as we can still access the back end. As you can see, I have also unscrewed the wiring panel. This gives us access to the DIN rail, the MZIO board, and the HMU. We will need access to the 4-inch flue collar and the DIN rail for wiring. So let's go in for a closer look and get this damper installed. So we have our 2 collars here. We're going to start with our first one. Take note, on the inside of the rubber seal, one side almost looks threaded and the other side has a larger lip. We're going to put the threaded looking side on first. Notice that I am taking the time to make sure the rubber seal is evenly pushed down on all sides up to that larger lip at the back end of the seal. Next, we have our flue collar clamp. We want to back out the clamp screw as far as possible so that the coupling slides on nice and easy. We can now insert our flue damper. The damper can be mounted on the left horizontally, vertically, or on the right horizontally. In the case where we are mounting it directly to the CI2 flue collar, as we are in this video, we must mount it on the left side as per our manufacturer's instructions. Once the damper is tight enough not to move, we need to verify its level. We are allowed to be plus or minus 5% up or down, but any more than that could throw off the balance of the actuator and cause nuisance problems. Once we verify we are level, we can finish tightening the clamp. To install our second collar, similar to the first, we're going to verify the correct side of the rubber seal and firmly affix it to the vent damper. Again, firmly pressing on all sides to ensure it is completely seated, reducing any possibility of a leak in this positive pressure venting system. We can now install our second clamp that will attach our damper to the field installed venting system. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just connecting a small piece of stainless as my mock venting connection. Now that the vent damper is installed, we can move over to the wiring connections. Looking at our wiring diagram on the back of the boiler access panel, we can see numbers 18 and 19 on the DIN rail are labeled as common vent damper feedback. We can also see at numbers 20 and 21 labeled as common vent damper power. So now that we know what DIN rail terminals we'll be using, let's get this thing wired up. We have 4 wires to connect, the red and purple wire for our vent damper feedback, and the blue and brown wires for our 120 volt power, brown being the L or hot wire, and blue being our neutral. If this boiler was being installed as a single flue application, we would require a jumper across 18 and 19. The jumper on this boiler has already been removed. Let's go ahead and connect our vent damper feedback to the DIN rail at 18 and 19. Next, we can connect our 120 volt power for the damper at 20 and 21. Again, brown is our hot wire at 20 and blue is our neutral at 21. Once we have made our last two terminal connections, give all the wires a light pull to ensure you have made a good connection. Now that we have the venting connected and the wiring completed, we need to let the boiler know that it's connected to a common venting system. In the case where we're using V-Guide to do our commissioning, you will be asked about the flue connection during the commissioning process in the basic configuration. You will need to select whether the boiler is in a single flue or multi-flue application, as well as input the flue system length. If this boiler isn't in a cascade and you're commissioning on the HMI, you will have the same options just displayed a little bit differently. Make your selection and complete the commissioning process. If we wish to verify the damper's function, we can simply apply a call for heat or do an actuator test to bring the boiler on and watch the damper drive. And that wraps up our how-to video on how to install the common vent damper on the CI2. Please visit our YouTube channel at Viessmann Climate Solutions North America for other how-to videos on all our products.